Jai Hind Centurions, myself Navneet Singh, and I basically belong to Raebareli, Uttar Pradesh. I have completed my schooling from St. Peter's School, Raebareli, and pursued BSc from Lucknow University main campus. And as Shishi sir correctly said that NDA and CDS is not only the option, and I can personally relate to it very well, because you guys will be surprised to know that I cleared 0 times NDA, I cleared 0 times CDS. Still I have got attempts to left, but I can accept this proudly, that not proudly basically, but I can accept this that I was weak in GS. I was not able to clear NDA only because of GS. I don't know what I found that what was tough in GS, but yes, I know that I wasn't able to clear NDA and CDS because I was weak in GS. But I found an opportunity. I pursued BSc, because of which I stopped myself from giving tech entries into naval. I was also a NCC cadet from Naval Wing, that is 3 UP Naval Unit NCC. So basically I didn't dream about wearing uniform. I lived it. When I was in school, everyone used to ask me, when the first intro class when happens of our school, so teachers ask that kiske kiske parents doctor hain. So everyone raised their hands, and after that the second question was kiske kiske parents army or paramilitary mein. So I was the person to raise hand, and the earliest introduction was of mine. So that was very first motivation for me to join the armed forces. After that, when I came into college and I joined NCC, so I wore white uniform. I was just mesmerized with the color of my uniform. So after wearing the uniform, I enjoyed my first year. First year is basically for Ragda. When I came into second year, I got opportunity to lead my contingent. I led, and in a beautiful way I led. I was the parade commander at Lucknow University Guard of Honor. I was also the Lucknow Republic Day parade commander. So these two events in my life which led me towards knowing my strength and my weaknesses. Before coming to Centurion, exactly on 8th of September 2021, I came here and I got recommendation exactly after 1 year, that is 8th September 2022. Since, as I said, that I never cleared NDA, so I was completely unaware, not completely unaware, but I was aware a little bit about the process. What is SSB? किस चिड़िया का नाम होता है, basically we call that. कि SSB क्या होता है, but I wasn't very deep into it. The very first class I remember 9th of September, there was a PPDT session, and I wrote my very first story honestly, and Shishi sir, after the whole PPDT session, it was feedback session. So Shishi sir addressed us and said that chest number, I still remember my chest number was 96 or something, said chest number 96, GTO sir has got screened you in because I performed very well in discussion, but I have kept to borderline because your stories are not up to the mark. Have you written the story for the first time? Even he was also surprised to know that being in the last year of my graduation, I was writing the story for the first time. Then it was a picture that a boy was walking on the road and nearby there were farms. So I had written a story on a vacation. Out of 20 students, 16 had written that he was a BSc agriculture student. I had written that he had gone on a vacation to a college and he was enjoying with his friends. Sir said that your story is on a very good plot. It is completely different from others. You haven't copied from any book. It can be seen in your story, but you need to more express yourself. Sir said, if you are noticing farms, use the word greenery. If you are feeling that village feel, use the word breeze, cool breeze flowing. Use mountains word. If you are seeing the mountain in the background, just define the background. Basically on the background you can lay a story very perfectly in a beautiful manner. Now continuing towards my first NCC attempt. It was my first NCC entry of which I was going to SSB. I remember 18 SSB, Allahabad. The mistake I did, Shishi said, you guys please don't commit that mistake which I am going to tell you. I had conceived that Shishi sir told me a very perfect story. Shishi sir said that there were greenery lands, cool wind was blowing. So I had a thought in my mind. Shishi sir said that your story is perfect in a way, you can use it in a blank story. So I kept in my mind, and basically before even seeing the picture, the thought in which my mind was striking कि कहीं से भी relate कर देते हैं स्टोरी. शिशी सर की स्टोरी परफेक्ट ही होगी, बस relate कर देते हैं कहीं से भी. And I still remember the picture. The picture was, there was a table and a person was sitting on this side and the second person was sitting on the other side. So कहाँ से घुमा के related it, you guys just will laugh. I said that the person had went on a vacation to his home and he was discussing about further studies with his college, with his father, and what he has to pursue in masters, and then he went to with his friends and play and enjoy the cool breezy air, greenery and all. And when we came out, सबने discussion किया. So the chess number sitting next to me, I said तुमने क्या लिखा? He said यार I wrote on COVID vaccination. I was completely blank. ये क्या थीम बता रहा है? दो चार से और पूछा तो they also write कि हाँ I wrote that the student met the vice chancellor of the college for renovation of library. मैं कहा ये सब ऑफिशियल थीम पे क्यों जा रहे हैं? फिर I thought for a bit. Then I realized यार ऑफिशियली थीम तो था, टेबल था, चेयर था, सामने फॉर्मल मीटिंग चल रहा था एंड मैंने वहाँ लिखा वेकेशंस. So never ever go with a preconceived story. That was my very first mistake that which I committed. My discussion part was very good. Since Shishi sir, the very first feedback that Shishi sir gave me, your factor 2 and 3 was very good. He asked me, did you have done NCC? Even I wasn't aware about my strength and my weaknesses. In the very first interaction, sir said your factor 2 and factor 3 are very good. These were the first lines said by Shishi sir. You need to work on the 1 and 4. I can see your factor 2 and 3. You will very good do in discussion. That I did the same, but the mistake I did, because of which I got screened out in my very first attempt, was I wrote a preconceived story. After that, I realized my mistake. Then I got to FSB Mysore for I cleared FCAT. So I went to Mysore, so I got screened in because this time I didn't committed that mistake of writing preconceived stories. But in this attempt, I did another mistake, which was also very helpful for you guys. I tried to be perfect in my interview. This was my mistake. Sometimes you will find questions like this. गुस्सा आता है. What are your weaknesses? Tell me 5 weaknesses which your mother thinks about you. Tell me 5 weaknesses which your sister thinks about you. People like us think that बहुत simple सा question है, इससे effect नहीं पड़ता, तुम चाहे जो answer करो. But ना, that defines you. If you are not able to know your strength and your weaknesses, no one can help you. So I tried to make my answers in a very perfect manner. That नहीं सर गुस्सा ही नहीं आता, कुछ नहीं आता. कोई कमी है? नहीं सर कोई कमी नहीं, ऑल आर माय स्ट्रेंथ. सर ने कहा था फैक्टर 2 3 सही है, मैं वही बोला है. हाँ, आई हैव गॉट वेरी गुड लीडरशिप क्वालिटीज, आई कैन मैनेज इट वेरी वेल. सो आफ्टर आई गॉट कॉन्फ्रेंस्ड आउट, सो क्वेश्चंस स्टार्ट अराइजिंग आफ्टर वंस यू गेट कॉन्फ्रेंस आउट और स्क्रीन आउट कि कुछ और देख लेते हैं, ट्राई समथिंग एल्स. एनडीए निकल नहीं रहा, सीडीएस निकल नहीं रहा, ट्राई समथिंग एल्स. बट ऑलवेज बिलीव इन योरसेल्फ. अगर आप खुद पे ही बिलीव नहीं करोगे तो और कौन करेगा? हाउ कैन यू से दैट वो किसी को पे भरोसा ही नहीं है? आप खुद पे तो रखो कम से कम. उसके बाद और एग्जाम्स दिए, एफकैट फिर से निकला, एफकैट में फिर से स्क्रीन आउट हुआ. इस बार कभी कभी इन सम मोमेंट्स यू विल फेस, यार इस बार तो कुछ गलत नहीं किया था. आएंगे ऐसे मोमेंट्स, पर उसको खुद पे हावी नहीं होने देना. कई बंदे ऐसे मिले कॉन्फ्रेंस आउट होने के बाद वही रोड पे बैठ के रो रहे होते हैं एकदम कि यार कुछ नहीं गलत किया, जो रिकमेंड हुआ वो तो वो था, ये था वो था. कुछ भी नहीं होता ऐसा. कुछ ना कुछ उसमें ऐसा रहा होगा जो आप में नहीं है, कुछ आप में वीकनेसेस रही होंगी. कभी इस एटीट्यूड के साथ आप कभी मत रहिएगा कि नहीं आई वॉज परफेक्ट इन द प्रोसेस, आई वॉज परफेक्ट इन स्क्रीनिंग, आई वॉज परफेक्ट ड्यूरिंग द कॉन्फ्रेंस. नहीं, ऐसा कभी नहीं होगा. कुछ ना कुछ आप में लूप होल रहा होगा, तभी आप कभी कभी किस्मत आपके साथ नहीं होती. दैट इज द प्रोसेस. When I got conference out, my third entry, which was NCC entry, this time also I got screened in. It was in Kapurthala, 31 SSB, I guess. So the moment I got conferenced out there also, the closing address was given by the vice president of the board. So he told us a story and it was a very beautiful incident which was told by him. He said that एक बार एक गरीब आदमी होता है and he founds a horse nearby road. वो उसको पाल लेता है. पहाड़ी एरिया में रहता है, माउंटेन एरिया में, तो वहां उसको काफी काम मिलता है एंड वो उससे बिजनेस शुरू करता है ट्रांसपोर्टेशन का. सामान इधर से उधर ले जाता है. धीरे धीरे उसका बिजनेस ग्रो कर जाता है एंड उसका कच्चे घर से पक्का घर बन जाता है. लोग बोलते हैं अरे वाह कितनी अच्छी किस्मत है, इसका फ्री में घोड़ा मिल गया एंड ये घर बन गया. फिर उसका अचानक से एक दिन घोड़ा भाग जाता है कहीं पे. लोग कहते हैं अरे बाप रे बाप कितनी बुरी किस्मत है, अभी तो शुरू हुआ था फिर भाग गया. फिर लोग कुछ दिन बुरी किस्मत करते हैं, फिर घोड़ा वापस आता है. इस बार 6 घोड़ों के साथ आता है अपने साथ. लोग फिर से कहते हैं अरे वाह कितनी अच्छी किस्मत थी यार. फिर उसी आदमी का बेटा घुड़सवारी सीख रहा होता है, वो घोड़े से गिर जाता है, उसकी टांग टूट जाती है. लोग फिर से कहते हैं अरे यार कितनी बुरी किस्मत है, बताओ अभी अभी तो बेचारा बेटा बड़ा हुआ था, फिर टांग टूट गई। उसी टांग टूटने की वजह से उसको पीडब्ल्यू कोटे से नौकरी मिल जाती है। लोग कहते हैं अच्छी किस्मत है। अच्छी बुरी किस्मत कुछ नहीं होती, इट्स जस्ट द कर्म यू डू, योर हार्ड वर्क will pay off. Trust yourself. One day or the other, it will work. Sometimes ऐसा लगेगा या नहीं यार किस्मत ही नहीं साथ है, साथ something good is waiting for you. I was merit out for sailor entry into Navy and I was merit out for airman also. But now I feel बहुत अच्छा हुआ था. I got merit out. Now I can feel that कि हाँ that was in my fate. At that time I realized I was feeling कि यार कुछ नहीं है, मेरी किस्मत में वर्दी ही नहीं है, सिपाही तो बन नहीं पा रहा मैं, ऑफिसर कहां से बनूंगा। दिस वॉज द फीलिंग आई वॉज गेटिंग एट दैट मोमेंट। पर नहीं, एवरीथिंग इज इन अ साइक्लिक वे, एवरीथिंग पेज ऑफ एट द एंड, ट्रस्ट द प्रोसेस। when I went to Coast Guard SSB, it is also has the same process, just the PSB, they called screening process, is done on a different way and on a different day, and FSB is done on another date. They give 10 to 15 days wait for conference process. When I went there, I was feeling like सब कुछ मेरे ही फेवर में हो रहा है. Everything was happening in my favor. I was perfectly writing stories in TAT, but I got fumbled in VAT. I couldn't even 10-15 वर्ड लिखे होंगे मैंने, but I can feel that बहुत गलत लिख रहा हूँ. उस टाइम क्या हुआ, लाइट चली गई वहाँ पे एंड इन्वर्टर की बैटरी भी डाउन हो गई. अब जस्ट थिंक द प्रोसेस कि 15 वर्ड्स हुए हैं एंड इन्वर्टर भी बंद हो गया एंड लाइट भी बंद हो गई. वो था मोमेंट मेरे लिए चेंज करने का. वहां से आई काल्म माई नर्व्स देयर. वहां पे खुद को 2 मिनट शांत किए, रियलाइज किया हुआ क्या. उसके बाद 10 मिनट के बाद फिर से टेस्ट शुरू हुआ फ्रॉम द 16th वर्ड. फ्रॉम देयर आई बैक माई सेल्फ. माई वर्ड्स वर वेरी परफेक्ट. आई वॉज फीलिंग दैट हैप्पीनेस. व्हेन यू विल राइट गुड सेंटेंसेस यू कैन फील दैट कि हाँ बहुत अच्छा लिख रहे हो. इन दिस वे फॉर अ स्पेशल एडवाइस फॉर वैट, आई स्ट्रगल्ड टू in VAT. Always try to write what you feel about that word. Suppose what is planning? Planning क्या करती है यार? If you plan something, planning saves time. Planning saves energy. What you feel about that particular word, especially about negative words. Negative words के लिए आपके क्या thoughts है? What is rape? Rape is unethical. Rape is a crime. Murder is a crime. ऐसे sentences लिखो. Don't ever try to be in a perfect way in any test. कि हमें नहीं जबरदस्ती perfect बनना है. What you are, if you have those OLQs in yourself, practice here. You can develop your OLQs in yourself, and you all guys have those OLQs. मेरे बहुत दोस्त हैं अभी भी. 10 to 15 friends of Centurion are still in touch to me. They all have those OLQs, but just they are waiting for their recommendation day. When I went to interview of Coast Guard, same questions again, that particular CIQ and all about my PIQ. A special word about PIQ also. Know everything about your PIQ. If your name is Abhay, know why your name is Abhay. Every single word you are writing in PIQ, know everything about it. So most of the questions were from PIQ. Then he suddenly jumped on the weather कि नवनीत यार नोएडा में गर्मी बहुत होती है, साउथ में तो सब सही है. Then I explained him the land breeze, sea breeze and the Tropic of Cancer and nearest to the equator. I explained all the terms. Then he said, suddenly out of nowhere, but what are your strengths and your weaknesses? I told him these are my strengths and these are my weaknesses. So he told, tell me the 2 most biggest regrets of your life. Most of the people said that कोई regret नहीं है. I said, sir, I couldn't clear NDA written examination. That is my biggest regret of my life. He said, tell me the second most biggest regret. I said, sir, I couldn't pursue BTech. He said, why? Why this is your regret? I said, sir, because being in the naval NCC, I was willing to join Navy, but now I could not join. So okay, so I have found an alternative way to join Coast Guard. मैं कहा exactly sir, that is what I was going to tell you. So after that, his next question was गुस्सा आता है. I suddenly got remembered of my Air Force interview. मैं कहा yes sir आता है. Every single word you utter have reason for it and justified reason. He said, क्यों आता है गुस्सा? I said, sir, when someone doesn't follows his or her commitments, it is a justified thing. गुस्सा आता है, हाँ ठीक है आता है. And क्यों? कब आप when you don't follow any commitments, it doesn't have any negative aspect. आपको खुद को नेगेटिव भी नहीं दिखाना है और खुद को एकदम परफेक्ट भी नहीं दिखाना है. गुस्सा आता है, हाँ ठीक है, स्ट्रेंथ है, वीकनेसेस हैं, सबके अंदर होती हैं. जस्ट एक्सेप्ट इट. जब आपका दिन होगा तो सब आपके फेवर में होगा. यू हैव टू वर्क फॉर इट. किस्मत के भरोसे नहीं बैठना यार. सीडीएस वाले कितने हैं इसमें? वेट नहीं करना एनडीए वालों भी, खत्म हो जाएगा. एंड द मोस्ट ब्यूटीफुल एकेडमी इन इंडिया. I have friends in all of the academies, AFA, IMA, NDA and INA too. All of them have given a single feedback. The most beautiful academy is NDA. NDA ही जाना है. The biggest regret still after being selected for Assistant Commandant, still my biggest regret is I haven't cleared NDA.